Hello and welcome to this video. We're having a look at the tool QuestionWell, which is an AI question generator that syncs really well with a number of other really popular tools for classrooms. So I'm going to show you how we do it. Starting off with the page questionwell.org, it's fairly straightforward to click try it out and you can log in. You can log in with your Google account or set up an email and password. Once you've done that, you'll be greeted with this page. There's a completely free account which has only a few limitations that we'll go through shortly, but basically the free account does a lot of what you'd expect. So on this page you can see that we're given a number of different choices. You can choose between 10 to 20 questions. For this demo I'm going to do 10. And again, with the paid version you'll have the option of some short answers, fill in the blanks, and some different things here. We've gone with the multiple choice option here as part of the free version, and then this is where basically you choose what your topic's going to be. So in this demo we're going to have a look at the structure of the brain. Okay. Now, if I wanted, I could tick this learning outcomes and standard, and it actually will allow you to select a standard, typically American. So if you would like to put in a different outcome here, you can do this. This is also only supported by the paid version. So I'm going to leave this unticked for the moment. And from here, we're going to take the really simple option. I'm going to go through this in a little bit more detail in a subsequent video. But I'm going to select a 10th grade level, and we're going to choose English, and then we're going to generate some AI writing that the questions will be based off. And so you can see here that it goes into detail about what the brain is, the different structures within the brain, and then breaks that down further into some different lobes and different structures. So for those familiar with psychology or biology, this is all not a huge amount of detail, but it's enough that we can generate plenty of questions for a 10th grade level. Once you're happy with this, and I will note that you can actually edit this yourself, you've got a limit of 1,000 words. So if I wanted to add to this anything that was specifically not here, then I could absolutely do that on the free version as well. I'll go through in more detail the fact that you can use YouTube videos or different websites to also generate this, or your own files as well on the paid version. So once we're happy with this, we simply click Generate Questions. And you can see that we've got a list of 10 questions here on the side. If we scroll down, all multi-choice obviously. And you can see with each one, if you're unsure or you wanted to double check, you can actually hit this check with Google search, and it will bring up that question in Google for you as well, just to have a look at. So you can edit every single option here as well as the question. If you're not liking the question as well, you can report it as a bad question. So in addition to the 10 questions, it's also generated some learning outcomes for us. And this is really handy, especially if you had a lot of questions here, as you can actually filter just by the specific outcomes. So if we wanted to just look at the term corpus callosum, I could click this and it would show me all the questions that relate to that topic, which in this case is just one. So really, really handy when you've got quite a lot of questions. You've also got options to filter by question type or vocabulary, again, paid versions. And we've got some essential questions that have been generated here as well, which is really handy for lesson plans. So once you've decided, you can choose whichever of these questions that you want to actually use. I'm going to, for the sake of this, just hit select all, and we can see that we're ticked with all 10 of our questions here. And then this is where I guess QuestionWell sort of steps up from some other, question generating AI. ChatGPT honestly does, a very similar kind of thing, but Where this is sort of at that next level is the exporting function. So, or I should say, you've got a couple of options. You can actually print this quiz as it is, and you'll see it generates just quite a nice simple PDF that you can print like this, and it'll come out like that. You can do some different inclusions and things like that, like the answers or essential questions. But effectively, yeah, this is a great way to provide students who are working on pen and paper. The other option though is to export. This is where it's fantastic. We get all of these different options to export to. So you may be familiar with some or all of these. Kahoot is an extremely popular sort of live quiz option, which I'm going to show you now, as well as similar things like Bluekit and Gimkit and Quizzes all do, or Quizlet, all do very similar things. But you've also got the options to output it into some of your LMS or learning management software as well. So Canvas, you've got Blackboard, and you've got sort of a few different things here. So lots and lots of different options. I'm going to do Kahoot. So if I click that, you'll see it gives me the option to save it. And so once I hit save, it actually just exports it as an Excel file. But the beauty is that it's in the correct format for Kahoot, and that would be the same for whichever other program we were looking at. So if I was to jump over to Kahoot, and I'm not going to take you through how Kahoot works. You'll either be familiar with it or not, but it's a fantastic sort of piece of software to try out if you're not familiar with it. If we click on Create, and then if I click a blank canvas, and you will note that Kahoot actually has brought in its own sort of question generation and things like that. There are limits to it with their AI assisted plan, but this is just provides a little bit more versatility for you. So once in Kahoot, we click on Add Questions, and you can see that we can import a spreadsheet down here. So clicking on this allows us to then select our file. So the file that we're looking at was saved here, our structure of the brain. I click Open, and then I can quite simply click Upload. Cool, and then it gives us the option. 10 questions have been imported, and I'm going to add those questions to the Kahoot, which you'll now see we've got 11 here because there's a blank one at the start, but all our 10 are perfectly formatted in, answer pre-selected, so you're really just good to go. Obviously, you can flesh this out with some of Kahoot's options to choose photos and things like that, or make any last-minute additions. But saving that will then allow you to run it for the class. So a really fantastic way to quickly generate some questions and get them in to a program of your choosing. And if we come back to Question Well here as well, very similar for any of these other options here too. So obviously there's a little bit more to it, which if you would like to learn more about Question Well, I'm going to go through that in the next video.